Alright guys, let's get started with the diluting of a couple products, the cleaners. This one is the Yellow Jacket, and it's a multi-surface cleaner, but I'm definitely going to use it for the wheels and tires. I'm using a 3 parts product to 20 parts water, and I just want to see how powerful it is at really just spraying on the tires and rims and rinsing them off and getting them clean. Sometimes I just like to give it a quick splash of product, rinse, and be on my way. The second one is called Tsunami, and it is their heavier degreaser. It is also a multi-surface product, as you can dilute it as well. I used it at 2 parts product to 20 parts water, and this one I wanted to see how strong that was at getting off old sealants or LSP, and I'll show you that later. Alright, I'm just trying to show you that you can see this car has protection on it. You can see it beads. Here, let's test out the Tsunami at 2 parts product to 20 parts water. That's very little product, and I just want to see how well that this can take off any of that protection that I have on my hood. Okay, this is my first attempt at spraying product on here. We'll rinse it, then we'll wash it. Now we're looking at the right side of the hood, in front of the driver's side, and I'm going to spray it with a second attempt. More product. Let it dwell a little bit, then I'm going to rinse it. Now this had some effect on it. I'm going to go ahead and wash this residue off. Rinse it. And then I'm going to wipe it with a microfiber towel that has nothing on it and see what the real result is. Now, as you can see, that this Tsunami cleaner can take off LSP, and that's at 2 parts product to 20 parts water. If I raise the product up, it would definitely be stronger. Now look at the 2 side by sides. The middle comes off easy, the right side stays wet. Good cleaner, definitely works well. I'm impressed. Alright, in this first test, I went ahead and sprayed it on all over. I wanted to see a real world situation of cleaning it by hand, agitation, using some different tools, and I wanted to see how clean that these rims could really get with agitation. Alright, here's another wheel that I wanted to try and clean. Just this time I wanted to spray it, let it sit, and then rinse it. I do seal the wheels with a spray and seal type of sealant, so a lot of times this is all I need to do. Let's see how it worked. All right, well that worked pretty good. I got about 80% of the grime off it. Now I'm just gonna go over it with a regular wash mitt and see if that clears a lot more or what's the difference. I'll do half the rim and let's see if we can tell any difference. All right, it's time for the Xtreme Suds car soap, and I'm just going to put very little bit of soap in here. I want to see the lubricity of it. I don't want to see a whole bunch of foam on the car. I know I can do that if I dump a bunch of soap in there. I also am trying to test two different foam cannons. One is a $60 one and one is a $20 one, and I want to see if there's any difference. So that's why I'm not using a lot of soap, and also to try and see what this soap is like at a real high dilution. And by that I mean that's a lot of water with this little bit of soap. So let's see what happens. Now remember, there's very little soap in this foam cannon. I just want to see if it breaks all the dirt and grime off, gets all that pollen off, and I'm going to be switching the leftover solution into another foam gun and see if there's any difference. Alright, I'm switching foam cannons. I poured the rest of the solution from the other one into this one. I did not add any soap, and it is the same consistency. So my little test shows me that the $20 foam cannons work just as good as the $60 foam cannons. Buy the cheap one, guys. Just add more soap if you want more foam. Use a gas pressure washer. Here I'm using the poly seal on a freshly washed car. I got the damp microfiber towel. I sprayed it on and I just wiped it over the car. It is an excellent drying aid. Pretty much picks up the water and applies product at the same time. And then you just go over and you buff it, dry. Great product, good slickness, easy to use. Nothing left over, no streaking. I really like this. This was super simple to use, easy to buff off, no high spots, Very enjoyable product to use. Here I'm just trying to show you guys you can use it on all exterior surfaces, the windows, the trim, the chrome. It's good for everything. It did not streak the windows. Watch when I buff it off, I'll show you. It was just simple, wipe it on and buff it off. And just to let you know, this is the same towel that I have dried the whole car with this product. It is a little Glacier 1100 and one towel did everything. This is the last part of it and I'm doing the windows and there is still no streaking. Now they say that you can spray polyseal on a dry microfiber cloth and wipe it in and wipe it off, but I think the best way is using a damp microfiber cloth. And you can also do this using the Showroom Elegance, which I'll show you next. Here is another method in applying the polyseal. You can grab your Showroom Elegance, that's their spray detailer. You can spray it onto the clean panel. Get your damp microfiber cloth, spray polyseal on it, and rub it into the panel, and then use another dry towel to buff it off. Alright, and here we're going to use Longevity. It is their tire shine. It is thick, so I just poured it out the bottle, put it on the applicator, and rubbed it into the tires. If you want to try and use a sprayer out of the bottle, hey, that's up to you. It worked just fine pouring it onto the applicator. This will give you a nice, rich, dark look. Shiny, not overly shiny, but perfect to my standards. And it just looks good, easy to use. Alright guys, well, let me tell you, I recently received this Xtreme Solution line to play with, and let me tell you some thoughts about it. I first diluted their multi-cleaners. This yellow jacket is for wheels and rubber, and it's a multi-surface cleaner, but that's what I used it on. States for that. This is their more extreme heavy degreaser cleaner, and I diluted that as well. I tried this on the wheels. I did a couple different tests, and sometimes I like to just spray something on the wheels and rinse them, and that might be good enough for me. because I wash my car so much and I put sealants and everything on it, some of those spray and rinses and stuff. So I tried that with the Yellow Jacket, and hey, it got them about 80% cleaner with just spraying it and rinsing it. So that was cool. I tried the Tsunami specialty cleaner. I diluted it 3 ounces to 20, and while using that, I tested it on my hood to see if it would take off any prior LSP, last step protection products that were on it, and it sure did. You know, it was a nice product. It cleaned off, and it's in the video that you saw, how it cleaned the panel, and it just, the beating stopped after I sprayed with this, and it took whatever sealant or wax I had on it off of there. So good product. I only used it 3 to 20 ounces, so that's gonna go a long way. I used their car soap. Now I did something different with this. I put this in this big ass foam can, and I filled this up with a lot of water. Like one of these made just about 2 of these. So I wanted to put just a couple ounces of Xtreme Suds in here, and I wanted to see how lubricating it was. I don't want to make a mean old foam all over the car. I just wanted a nice lubricating foam, and I wanted to see if a little separate test if this was shittier than this. This is one of those $20 ones. This is one of those $60 ones. And you know what? They were both just about equal. So for my own knowledge, the cheap $20 one works just as good as the $60 one. But this car soap was very lubricating. It cleaned the car really good. You know, I had a lot of dust and pollen. Right now, the pollen's driving me crazy, and it had fallen all over the car. The car was looking real spotty. That's just to say the least. Then I went ahead and I put the longevity on the tires. That stuff is nice. That's a nice shine it's got on there. I like a little bit more shiny tires. So this is a perfect, there's no diluting that. It's perfect. All right, you guys, let's talk about these 2 products here. This is Showroom Elegance. It's their spray detailer. I like this because you can see it actually has something in it when you spray it on the car. It's not like normal quick detailers that are just water almost when you spray them on the car. This gives a nice shiny gloss, a slick feeling. This Polyseal, this is amazing. It's their polymer spray sealant. It's a hybrid. It's got SiO2 in it. You can use this a couple different ways. You can use this if you spray it on a dry towel and you spray the car with Showroom Elegance, then you can put that towel over and apply it, and then you can buff it off with a separate towel. Or you could get this and you could apply it as a drying aid. So when your car is wet and you pull it in from washing and you want to use this, then you would spray it onto a damp microfiber towel. Or you could use it directly on a dry car, but you would also use a damp microfiber towel to spread it around and then buff it off. This was a really great product. It was super slick, smooth, the car looks great, and I really enjoyed that product. I didn't get a chance to get into the window cleaner or the odor remediation or the 2 compound and polishes yet, but for what I did use over here, these were a great bundle, and they worked really well. My car really hasn't looked so clean. I mean, it's crisp. It's not caked with all kinds of product on it. It just looks crisp and clean. It's fresh looking, and I'm just real happy with that look right now. And sometimes you start putting a lot of products on your car and it looks all caked up, but not this time. These products gave it a nice crisp look. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.